We worked in partnership to get this project off the ground. As Brenda said, I'm Laura Loveless. I'm the manager at the main library here in KCK. We're a downtown urban setting. I have been with KCK for 25 years. I can't even process that really. So it's the only full-time job I've ever had in my whole life at this library. That's how much I love it. And so like everybody, we knew this was coming, and still we went home like our hair was on fire on March the 18th with no plan, thinking that it might be a couple of days. And so the farther we went into this process, the more we realized, we get into this business because we like to serve people and talk to people. And in that respect, COVID was very hard. And so we started thinking about ways that we could serve people from home outside of your basic book reviews that we put on our website and story time on Facebook and things like that. And so we hit upon this idea to do a blog. And once Kim gives you her spiel, I'm going to kind of walk you through what the blog looks like and how you can search it. And then I hope when this is over, you go take some time and look through it. We have put a lot of work into it. So I'll turn it over to my partner, Kim, now.
Hey, hi, everyone. Can you hear me okay? So I am Kim Woolery, and I'm the Arts and Communication Librarian here at KCK. And I've been here about not quite 8 years. And part of my job is handling like our advertising and social media and blogs and other things like that. So I'm going to start off with talking about how we created the blog before I turn it over to Laura. Let me see if I can get the screen share to work. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so first, just a little introduction to our system. We are located in Kansas City, Kansas. We have 5 branches and 3 mobile libraries. We serve primarily the population of Wyandotte County, Kansas, but our services are also available to any of the more than 2 million people who live in the entire KC metro area. And as Laura mentioned, we first closed on March 18th, 2020 because of COVID. At the time, we thought maybe we would be gone a week or two. It actually ended up being our staff were at home until June 1st. And then since then, we've only been doing curbside service up until about a month ago. We started allowing patrons back into our buildings, but we still are not doing any in-person programs. Whereas prior to this, we would have done about 150 to 200 programs a month. So our blog was first launched on April 3rd after we'd been out for about 2 weeks. With our staff working from home and our patrons at home due to stay-at-home orders, we were looking at a way to connect with the community and adapt our normal services to this situation. We found that our digital resource use, like our ebooks and Hoopla and all that, had increased dramatically, as had our interactions on social media. So we knew that people were seeking us out online, and we wanted to take advantage of that fact. We decided to go with WordPress to host our blog for a couple of reasons. We already had a reader's advisory blog on there where we posted our book reviews, so we were familiar with the product. It would allow multiple staff to be able to post to the blog without having to go through just one central person, which would not be something that our website, for example, would allow. It's a super easy platform to use, even for the least tech savvy people, and it offers some really great features and stats tracking. So we've been doing this for a little over a year, and as of earlier this week, we have made 883 posts. We have 87,426 views and 27,897 visitors from 95 different countries. So, and our posts include things like virtual tours, instructional videos, recipes, games, crafts, just all kinds of different things. So I'm going to turn it over to Laura to talk about the content of the blog. Okay, are you ready, Laura? Oh, you're muted.
I'm looking, hold on.
Okay.
So You know, the easiest thing and the first thing that we converted to an online program was a book club, much like everybody else. But you can only do so many book clubs to interest people. And we quickly got on the take home craft bandwagon. And we started advertising those on our blog about which branch you could pick up what craft with. And Kim is a whiz with WordPress, had this all set up for us. And like she kind of said, it started small with a few things. We only needed a couple of categories and tags, book clubs and reading and stuff like that. And then as we started really realizing how long we're going to be home, I did a quick survey of my staff to figure out, number one, what are your technology capabilities from home? And number two, what sort of interesting skill or hobby do you have that could translate to something that we can teach people to do? And I had all kinds of responses, everything from I have no skill to the best thing I know how to do is play rock, paper, scissors, and everything kind of in between. And so we started really just encouraging staff, whatever your knowledge or skill is, figure something out. For example, one of our employees used to be a park ranger with the National Park System, and he wrote a lot of travel blogs. And then we started adding on, we have someone who's in a band, and he did some videos on how to play steel guitar, and then gave a little history about that. And then we started really gaining speed. When staff started seeing how easy this was and how responsive the public was, then everybody kind of got on board. And our categories here are, you can see how we've grown from, whoops, let me scroll down here, how we've grown from just books and reviews to all of these categories. And one of the most popular things on our blog is recipes. Everybody cooks, everybody eats. And so staff started taking photos of their dinner as they were making it, writing up instructions. We have a Spanish librarian on staff, and so she includes instructions in Spanish. And so it's there's all kinds of things on here. And so this gal even gives us a pronunciation, since no one ever knows how to say a gnocchi. And so a little bit of history. She does a lot of gardening things, and everything on here is original to our staff, which to me makes it much more appealing to people. And so there are tons of recipes on here. One of the things we also hit on was we have a lot of people who, as you know, working in libraries, for many people who come in, their interaction with library staff, that is their social interaction for the day. And so we came upon something we called it Let's Talk, right? We have a recreation category, and this is where Steve puts his travel logs. We have some European staff on our staff, and they did a whole bunch of things with the Czech Republic and Russian culture, which is interesting. But we also did this little thing called, where'd it go? Let's Talk, okay? So this was just our way. If you log into our Zoom link and whatever you want to talk about, it could be about what was on the news yesterday or what you had for dinner or whatever. For a long period of time, it was simply about President Trump. And we have since moved on. But we actually had a young girl from Detroit join us, a third grader, and she made us, we read a book together. She made us do math. She made us write discussion questions, and then she graded us. And it was fantastic. But we've also had people from, I have a lady from Florida who joins us every week. And sometimes we let her pick the topic. Sometimes she picks the topic. It's just been a very interesting way to connect to people. We have also done, all of our book clubs are in here. And so we have a lot of book clubs that go on in our system. And this is a way for people to get the Zoom link easily. Of course, when we ended up at home, a lot of us didn't have our book club members' email addresses. because they're sitting on our desk somewhere. But this allowed us to point people to the right direction for how to get into the book club. Some of the more interesting things that we do, we have a lot of crafts. Crafts are big in libraries, obviously, and we have both adult and kids crafts. What we try to do is we may advertise for take-home crafts on here, but we also then, when that take-home craft is over, convert the entry to, here's how you can make this at home with your own supplies. Some of the more, we have a Kansas collection here at the library. And so our Kansas librarian posts every week just about fun facts about parts of the collection in the Kansas room, or informational things about people that are important to our community. This building right here, this is our old Carnegie Library. It was in the space right behind us, or right in front of us where we are now. So we have a lot of photos of that. We did a lot for Black History Month with local people. The Kansas room posts get more hits than, by far, except for recipes, anything else that we do on social media. There's a great interest in that in our community, and people love it. But you can also see that we do computer classes by Zoom. That has been interesting, but we have a great partnership with our unified government, where they send all their employees over to us to do programs and get credit for insurance and things like that. But right now we're teaching everything by Zoom. And after some stops and starts, that all seemed to settle down into a good category as well. Let's see what else is interesting here. The recipe, the jobs in business. We also, every library probably has a job board. And because we were closed for so long, we decided to do a virtual job board. And so today's posting is, you can see all the people that have contacted us about open jobs and how to apply. Let's see, what else is interesting? I need to get this back to Kim. We do a lot of movies and television. And so we have movie quiz. That movie quiz got like 900 hits on social media, which was just flat out shocking to me. But we use Try Interact for those quizzes. And I would just encourage you to go in and browse around. I am wildly proud about the work that staff has done with this. And we have, like you said, 80 something thousand views is really, it's mind boggling. And so we know that people are looking at it. We know that people are engaged with it, and we couldn't be happier with what staff have done. And it is a great way to begin moving forward with this. This is something that we'll continue to work into our slate of programs, because we've reached so many people, I think, that we probably wouldn't have before this. So I'll turn it back over to Kim, and she's going to talk to you about how we collect statistics on this thing.
And this is Brenda with your 2-minute warning.
Sorry, Kim.
I'll be real quick. Okay, so one of the challenges we had was how to count stats. Like, normally you would count how many people attended a program for a stat, but without people there, we weren't really sure what to do. But luckily WordPress has like really great stats. You can kind of see these two images here. The one that we count the most is views. So we count, a view the same as we would a person. And as the admin of the blog, I'm able to access these stats. And then each month I put together a spreadsheet for all our branch managers that shows, different types of programs, like what views they got. That way they can see what type of content is the most popular, and report their stats the way they would before. And it is super interesting to see which type of posts really take off. Like Laura was talking about, our local history posts are really popular. The recipes are really popular. And then finally, just real quick, I'm going to talk about our promotion. So we mostly use social media to promote our blog posts, because we knew just creating the blog wouldn't be enough, that people would need to know where to find it. And it works so well with Facebook and Instagram, since we really focus on having nice pictures in all of our posts. And then we, of course, have it posted on our website, and it goes through our e-newsletter. So basically, we just try to share this as widely as possible to hook as many repeat viewers as we can. And all in all, we have been really, really happy with this experiment. Like Laura said, I've been so impressed with the different things that staff have come up with and all the different hidden talents and knowledge that we didn't know that staff had. It is truly impressive to see what they have come up with, and we will likely look into ways to continue this blog even after we have fully reopened and resumed our in-person service. So if you have any questions and want to contact us later, here is our contact information and again, the link to the blog.
Awesome. Thank you so much, you guys. I bet you're going to have a lot of hits after today on that blog and people looking for information. Thank you so much again. So that is going to wrap up our first hour of MPLA Lightning Talks. We hope a lot of you stick around. And of course, if you have to pop out for meetings or what have you and pop back in, we hope to see you again later. So we will take another 5-minute break and we will start up with hour number 2 at 11 o'clock.
Julie, do you want to, if Brenda can give you the hosting permissions, would you be able to run the slides or you want me to do that well?
I can definitely do that.
Okay, Brenda, if you wouldn't mind making Julie the host. Thank you, ladies. You guys are actually just, Laura and Kim, you're just 40 miles east of me. So I'm not always as aware of what's going on right in my backyard. So that was very exciting. Thank you.
Welcome.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
All right. Now, how many of you in preparation for this conference got donuts and coffee and have them ready? I just realized my video is still off. I've got my hand half up, but you can't see it, of course, because I got the coffee. I forgot the donuts, but
Muffins?
muffins, that works.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
works. I did actually have an English muffin this morning, but that's not quite the same. Oh, well. Just
Julie, I
coffee. There's
didn't,
the tea.
oops, sorry, Robin.
Okay.
I was going to
No.
tell Julie that I did not stop the recording before I gave you host duties. So I'm assuming that it got stopped.
Oh, it still says recording.
It still says it's recording, so
Okay.
Julie may have to stop that.
Yep. So we may have to do some editing.